Okay. Good morning and welcome to the Appropriations Committee. We are going to have a voting session today, February 19th, Friday, February 19th, on a number of bills that have come through subcommittee or are coming directly to full committee. And then we have a few bills that have been withdrawn, several bills actually that have been withdrawn by the sponsors that we will take up and vote unfavorable on. We're going to start today with House Bill 13. Why don't I go through and just list the order in which we're going to take these bills to vote on? House Bill 13, House Bill 125, House Bill 184, Bill 246, House Bill 460, House Bill 844, House Bill 73, and House Bill 101. So let's start with House Bill 13, Delegate Young.
Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 13, Influence on Collective Bargaining, Prohibition on Use of Public Funds and Income Tax Addition Modifications. This is Delegate Ludke's bill. If you remember from the committee presentation, the bill prohibits the use of a unit of the state, county, or municipal government from knowingly using public funds to influence the decision of public employees. There is one amendment. The amendment strikes the tax provision of the bill that would require expenses used to assist, promote, or deter collective bargaining to be subject to Maryland income taxes. With that, there was a favorable vote out of the subcommittee and move the bill.
Okay, I'll second it. Any discussion, please raise your hands if there's any discussion on the bill. Okay, there's none. We'll take a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye, and please take yourself off mute.
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Please raise your hand on, raise your little blue hand, okay? Blue or yellow hand. And because we want to make sure, and somebody needs to get background noise off also. Okay. Yeah, thank you. All right, I have a voting in opposition, Delegate Mangione, Delegate Beitzel, Delegate Novotny, Delegate McKay, Delegate Kettleman, Delegate Greist. Am I correct? Am I missing anyone?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I think Delegate Metzger also, Madam Chair, you might want to check with him.
Delegate Metzger, where are you?
That's a no.
Okay. Thank you. Get Delegate Metzger in there too. Thank you, Delegate Krim. Delegate Learman's bill, House Bill 125.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. The committee should be very familiar with this bill. We've had it for the last few years. It's the name, likeness, and image bill. There's been a lot of interest in this committee in passing this bill. We wanted to make sure that we were in the right moment, really, to pass it. And we asked DLS to look at this issue last summer. They did. As you know, the universities had some concerns with this legislation, but I'm happy to say that we have worked on the bill, and a lot of kudos to Michelle, our counsel, who has crafted amendments that have satisfied the university and the system concerns, and they are fine with the bill at this point. I think the amendments stay true to the original intent of the bill, and Delegate Learman is very happy with them. With that, I'll go through the amendments for the committee. Amendment number 1 is technical. Amendment number 2 strikes pages 2 through 9 of the bill and replaces it with intent language, as well as some guidelines and protocols for athletic programs. And, those really center around safety of the students and also reporting of those guidelines and guideposts back to this committee as to what they're doing and anytime they make changes to those guidelines. Amendment number 3 makes changes to the name, likeness, and image portion of the bill. It delays it to 2023, and that it puts us in line with 3 other states that are also coming online in 2023. It also puts us behind another state which will come in line before that, so we can see what their experience is. And we're hoping that this 23 becomes a a year that other states, and there are 30 states that have this bill in, will gravitate toward, so that everyone can come online roughly at the same time. The amendment also makes changes to the agent provisions, which allow you not to have a professional agent, but you could have just an attorney or even your parents as your sort of representation. So it gives a lot more latitude there. It also makes changes to clarify that the student can't use university intellectual property. So you can't be in an advertisement using, say, Towson University hat or their logo. That's their property, or on campus. So with that, I will move the amendments.
Okay. We're going to vote first on the amendments. I second them. Any questions or any discussion on the amendments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anybody opposed to the amendments? Anyone opposed to the amendments?
Oh,
Okay, on the bill
Wait a minute.
as amended, is there
wait a
any
minute,
discussion?
wait a minute. Wait a minute, Madam Chair.
Yes,
Hold on a minute. I get down. There you go. I didn't
Okay.
mean to raise my hand there.
okay. Delegate Kittleman, do you have want to?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, in the fiscal note, it says that there could be substantial cost involved, and it doesn't say how, and I just wondered if somebody could address that.
I think a lot of that has to do with what was struck from the bill, and
Okay,
Michelle can come in if that's not correct. But a lot of it was pretty rigorous what we were demanding of the universities in the original bill, which was part of their discontent with the bill. So I think we've kept a lot of the guideposts in the health and safety standards in the bill without causing those added costs.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, on the bill as amended.
Move the bill.
Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Please raise your little yellow or blue hand. Anyone opposed? I see no one opposed. All right, thank you very much. House Bill 184.
This was unfavorable in subcommittee unanimously. A move unfavorable.
Going
Second.
going once, going twice, gone. House Bill 246, Delegate Barnes. You were busy.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I'm toggling on my phone to the bills, so let me just get to this.
It's the Peace Corps.
Oh, Peace Corps bill is easy bill. It just allows those who served our country in the Peace Corps, helping others overseas, to receive in-state tuition. Move the bill. It was unanimous in subcommittee.
And no amendments, correct?
There is one amendment,
Oh,
just to
sorry.
clarify.
Oh, one amendment?
It just clarifies that for the community colleges that this would not affect their CADE formula.
Okay. All right, let's move that amendment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, on the bill as amended, there's a motion. I move second. All those in favor of House Bill 246 by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? I see no one opposed. Thank you very much. Next bill is Delegate Solomon's Bill 460.
I think Delegate Solomon's handling this one.
Delegate Solomon.
This bill was a bill we considered last year. It's about improving the transfer process between our community colleges and our four-year institutions. Requires essentially a process of communication between the two entities when a course or credit is denied, so that things can be worked out. Also requires annual reporting from both entities to MHEC, so that there's annual data on the courses and credits that are denied, so there can be an analysis of potentially how to improve that. There is one amendment. It's technical, just kind of clarifies the MHEC deadline that they need to set. This passed unanimously out of subcommittee, I think passed unanimously out of the full committee last year on its way to the floor. So motion to move the amendment.
Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to the amendment? All right, on the bill as amended. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please raise your hand. Blue or yellow. Anyone opposed? Okay, very good. we have, the next bill is House Bill 73. I know that we're going to have discussion on this and we have a lot of amendments. We have one that's been drawn, so I'm going to move very quickly to the House Bill 101. And
Madam Chair, we skipped over House Bill 844, which is a pensions bill.
oh, I did. I'm sorry. I got all excited. Let's do House Bill 844, which is Delegate Lehrman Pensions Bill, and that would be Delegate Proctor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Retirement Board actually requested this bill. It codifies existing practices. The bill authorizes the state to buy an insurance policy to meet a statutory bond requirement. The insurance policy will protect the system against fraud and theft and other types of dishonest acts. The bill requires the state treasurer to consult with the board to choose the type and amount of the insurance policy. This bill moved unanimously out of committee.
Good. No amendments?
No amendments.
Okay, I move second. Motion's been made. I second it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Very good. All right, I'm going to move down to House Bill 101. We'll do that, and then we'll come back to Delegate Krim's State and Local and Private Employees Teleworking Bill. So 101, Delegate Resnick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 101, Delegate Charkoudian's bill to create a heat and eat program within the benefits the benefits provided by the state. If you all recall, Heat and Eat is a program that couples our existing Maryland Energy Assistance Program with the existing SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. By coupling them together, we can generate more federal match and provide more assistance to families in poverty. The bill has no fiscal note on it from a state perspective because all the money that's coming for this program is federal. There is one amendment that adds uncodified language to direct the department to study how to improve enrollment in this program by looking at automatic enrollments. I move the amendment. The bill passed unanimously with one member absent out of subcommittee. I move the amendment.
Okay, good. All right, let's do the amendment first. I second it. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, on the bill, is there any discussion? I see none on the bill as House
The bill
Bill
is amended.
101. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Please raise your blue or yellow hand. Okay, we've got some hands raised. I see Delegate Grist, Delegate Mangione, and Delegate Novotny. Is that correct? And up, I now only see, wait. Yeah, those three, correct? All right. I just want to make sure. Thank you very much. All right, now let's move back to House Bill 73. Delegate Young.
Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 73, Delegate Krim's telework bill that we heard previously. We had a robust discussion in the subcommittee, and I know we're going to continue it here. Generally, the purpose of the bill requires that state private entities identified in the bill establish a telework policy. There are two amendments, but extensive amendments and others that are coming from the members from the subcommittee. The bill establishes legislative intent to encourage and assist private sector employers in developing and implementing telework programs. While we're asking them to create something, we're not trying to just leave them to their own devices. We actually are providing assistance to help. Amendment number 1 is technical. Amendment number 2 establishes the Office of Telework under the Department of Commerce to establish best practices for telework policies and to assist private sector businesses in implementing telework policies. It also establishes a grant program to help small businesses with telework policies and set up the structure of the program and mandates an appropriation of $1 million for the program. And I will edit that. One of the new amendments takes out small business and just applies to businesses. So the grant is available to every business that would be creating a telework policy. The other provision in Amendment 2, beginning on October 1st, 2021, requires employers with more than 50 employees to implement and maintain a telework policy based on best practices established by the Office of Telework. Provision 4 of Amendment 2 specifies that a public institution of higher education shall establish and adopt a telework policy and guidelines. And Part 5, on or after October 1st, 2023, authorizes that criteria for designated telework positions may be negotiated by employees who are represented by an existing or exclusive representative. With that, move the amendments.
Okay, on the amendments. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Madam Chair, can I just say a couple words on that?
Sure.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank Delegate Young over the last, since our subcommittee met. He's actually, we worked through a couple of the details through this bill, and there's obviously we have another amendment coming up here pretty soon. But the first time that we've heard or seen these amendments, for me in particular, was late yesterday evening, because I think these amendments were sent out, I believe, around 9:30 yesterday evening. And I think for some of the other members, the first time they've seen it was this morning. So we haven't really had a whole lot of time to digest what these amendments actually do and the impact of what these amendments are going to do. Madam Chair, we spoke this morning, and same thing with Delegate Young. I think we should, if you guys want to move it, I'm perfectly fine with moving the amendment today. But if we could hold this bill until Friday, just so that way we have an opportunity to really take a look at these are meaningful changes to the bill, with these amendments doing it. I certainly appreciate all the work and the help that you guys have done so far, in particular Delegate Young and our subcommittee, and then, trying to make this bill, from all perspectives a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we will entertain the motion to hold the bill until next Friday.
All right,
So
thank
moved. All right. Do you want to have any other discussion about any particular portion or any particular Delegate Beitzel? I see you have, and also, yeah. Go ahead, Delegate Beitzel.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. I also want to express my appreciation for our subcommittee chair, Delegate Young. In our subcommittee, we had a good discussion on this bill, and he is really went out of his way to try to accommodate some of our concerns. And so thank you, Delegate Young. There's a couple of things in the amendment that I have real concerns with. I have a question first, maybe Delegate Young can answer or somebody can. Okay. Apparently there's a provision in the amendment that makes it mandatory that all of the businesses over 50 have to have a policy, whereas the government provisions of this have it's more or less it was a requirement, but it's not mandated. They have more discretion in how they develop the policy. Is it true that the way the amendments are drafted, that all the businesses over 50 that are required to have these policies and have to do it? It's mandated, and are the smaller businesses mandated also?
So to answer your question and to clarify too, the amendment requires that all businesses with 50 employees or more are required to have a policy, establish a policy associated with telework. And it is also mentioned in the bill, and I think you were alluding to this, that those businesses have to base their telework policy on the guidelines of the Office of Telework that's also established in the same amendment. So where the locals and the government agencies don't have that same requirement associated with complying with the Office of Telework, the businesses do. And your other question, it isn't a mandate on smaller businesses to create one, even if they are doing telework. We have created the grant program and the office for the purpose of encouraging those businesses, and for the members too. I know in the discussion with Delegate, a friend from the Eastern Shore, the discussion about encouragement was discussed in the subcommittee, which I think might have also got misconstrued, where we were talking about encouraging smaller businesses to create their policies, even if they're already doing it. While yes, it is a mandate to create a policy, but I just want to emphasize, but not to implement a policy or force someone to telework, just to create a policy of telework. Does that answer your question, Delegate Bites?
Yes, and then also kind of maybe procedurally, I have an amendment that I've sent in and just this amendment that we're acting on right now and the motions on and we're discussing, the amendment that I would offer would impact provisions of this amendment. So I guess procedurally.
Here's what we're going to do, Delegate. I want to have the discussion. I think it's
Right.
for everybody to hear what the concerns are now as a committee of the whole. But what you have an amendment that addresses that portion of it. What I'd like to do is have you give that amendment to the subcommittee, personnel committee, have them over the course of this week, look at that amendment and see if we can't reach a resolution on this issue. And then we'll report it out to the full committee. But your concern is the small business piece of it and the mandate. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay. But we will look at Delegate, obviously, Delegate Beitzel's amendment in context of this discussion. Delegate Grice, did you want to? But we will vote on your.
I do, and if we could work with the small business community, and I don't think we're very far off to get there. At least they want to oppose the bill. I don't think we're far off at all. And if we can, it won't take much time. I would say we can probably have something to you by the end of the day, Monday, or Tuesday, certainly at the latest.
Okay, I just want to kick it back to subcommittee to kind of look through this and make these decisions, and then recommend to the full committee what they will. Delegate Kettleman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a slightly different perspective than my colleagues. When I first saw this bill, I said, wow, this is really a great bill. And then we did what governments do. This is after a time when the whole workforce across the state found out that teleworking was a good thing. It was positive. You got more work out of most of us. And to encourage it, I think is great. But why do we have to then go the step further and mandate this and mandate funds without giving the state and the people the opportunity to be inventive and do their own thing? It kind of ruined the bill for me. And I don't vote for financial $1 million mandates. And I hate not to be able to vote for this bill. So that's my perspective.
Delegate Young, does this bill mandate telework?
It does not mandate.
It's only the money I worry about. The money mandate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
all right.
Yeah.
And that fiscal note comes from. I mean,
the fiscal note comes from the establishment of the grant to assist now all businesses in establishing their telework policy.
Okay, thank you. All right, I just want that. All right, look, we're going to hold this bill till next week to vote on. During that time, we want to make sure that the concerns are brought back to the personnel subcommittee and see if there's any way to work them out. So I thank you, Delegate Young, and I thank you for those who want to continue working on this bill. It's a bill, by the way.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
You might want to take back the thanks. I don't want to. I was focusing on HB 73, that on HB 13, I moved the bill when we did not address the amendments, the one amendment.
Oh, okay. So we need to address that one amendment?
We need to address amendment, the amendments from HB 13, which strikes the tax provision. And I know my Republican members, I also didn't want them to not be recorded make their voices heard in terms of how they felt about the amendment either. So.
All right, so we're finished with the crim bill. We got to go back to 13.
Yes, ma'am.
And you got to
move the amendments.
Thank you. Second. All those in favor of removing the tax provisions of House Bill 13 signify by saying aye.
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 Good. And I don't think it changes the outcome of the bill, correct?
No, ma'am.
Good. All right. Now we have
Madam Chair, can we vote on the bill as amended just for?
Just for you. I would
Just
do it
for
for
me.
you,
Thank
okay?
you.
Yeah. Michelle requests that we vote for the bill as amended, House Bill 13, which is the influence on collective bargaining prohibition on use of public funds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed to this bill, please raise your yellow or blue hand. And now I have Grice, Beitzel, Mangione, Novotny, McKay, Kettleman, Metzger. I'll bet you're in there too, right? Uh-oh. Yes, okay. All right, Metzger raised his hand. We're going to have to do a lesson with Metzger on yellow hands and blue hands. All right, let's move now to the bills that have been withdrawn committee. We have the following bills: House Bill 42, 47, 255, 259, 513, 793, 830, and House Bill 59. And I would like to move that the vote on House Bill 42 be the vote on all those bills. So I will move unfavorable, going once, going twice, gone. Very good. Thanks for another great week of work. We got subcommittees meeting this afternoon. The vice chair is going to be in one and I'm going to be in the other. But you're all doing great work, and I appreciate everybody's engagement. Anything else for the good of the order? Very good. Have a great weekend. All right.
Likewise.
Safe, stay healthy, and stay out of the snow, Wendell.
Can't help it. I got to go home.
Be good.